Think an open house will sell your house? Maybe, but probably not. There's a lot more happening behind the scenes than just cookies and shoe covers. I'm here with Tabitha, and we're talking about open houses today. Thanks for being here, Tabitha.
Anytime. All right, so fact or fiction? Open houses sell homes.
Not really. Most people think open houses are like a tool, a marketing tool that we use to sell the house. But in my experience, open houses are much more of a lead gen tool for us to get more buyer leads,
Interesting.
right?
So many people are using Zillow on a daily basis. Then why are so many agents hosting open houses still?
That's such a great question. There are definitely realtors who rely on open houses and who hold them open for any of their listings, or get somebody else to hold them open, because you can get foot traffic in through the house. And that's what our job is to get people in to see the house. So that's one way to do that. And once a buyer gets into the house, they can start to get emotionally invested in it. Maybe they're making an offer. It's also really great for neighborhood exposure and buzz because you'll have a lot of neighbors. Usually, you have neighbors who come walking through an open house. And they might know friends, and they might tell other neighbors, and other neighbors might know friends of somebody who, they want to move in.
What are some of the benefits of the sellers hosting an open house?
I think honestly, so there's a few benefits for sellers. There's more benefits for the realtor. So for sellers, they get more exposure on the house. They get really quick feedback because whoever's holding the house open should be asking buyers while they're there, like, what do they think about the house? It creates buyer urgency. If you've ever been into an open house where there's like 10 other people there, like you have this feeling like this is a hot house. There's a bunch of people here looking at it. And if you really like it, it creates urgency for making an offer, right? And then of course it makes the seller feel good, like you're doing as much as you can to market their home and get it sold. So it's a feel good type of thing. But honestly, I think that there are more pros for the realtor than the seller, you know. Um, they're getting the buyer leads. That's the thing. And in fact, that's a deal between realtors. So a listing agent who has a listing may have another realtor hold that listing open. And the whole deal is that the realtor who's holding it open is going to be able to keep all the buyer leads that they capture during the open house. Now that agent can go and follow up on those buyer leads and hopefully get some buyer clients,
So what are the cons of hosting an open house for the sellers?
So for sellers, the cons to having an open house, you have a lot of people in your house, so there's a little bit of a security concern. You want to make sure that if you have stuff like jewelry or valuable items sitting out, you definitely want to put that stuff away, lock it up during an open house. Um, there's no way that one or even two people who are hosting the open house may be able to be with all of the buyers. If there's, like I said, if you get 10 or 12 people in there looking around, you don't have eyes on people. And so it can be a security concern. Another negative for sellers in hosting open houses is the nosy neighbors. Like so many times the people who are coming into the open houses are not buyers at all. They're the neighbors. I call them looky-loos.
Sounds accurate. So what would you say is most important for buyers to know about open houses?
I think the most important thing that buyers need to know about open houses is that they're mostly lead generation for the realtor to get buyer leads. So most open houses will have a sign-in sheet. And if you're a buyer and you're at an open house, when you go to sign the sign-in sheet, make sure to put that you have representation or that you have a buyer's agent. If you don't tell them that in the sign-in sheet, then they will be calling you.
Good to know.
Yeah, right?
Okay. So then what's the most important thing for sellers to know about open houses?
I think sellers just need to know that, like, there's probably not going to be a buyer that walks into the open house that's going to be making an offer on your house. That's unlikely to happen. So you just want to make sure that sellers aren't disappointed if there's no offers coming out of an open house.
Have you ever had something unexpected happen at an open house?
Oh my gosh, yes. In fact, it may have been the very first open house that I ever did by myself. And so after I have run all around, because you got to run all around first, like setting out the signs and the balloons and your cookies or, whatever you're doing for the open house, right? So you've done all that stuff. And by the way, you dressed up nicely for the open house. Now you're sweaty. So that's super fun. Now you're all sweaty. You're back at the open house and you're going to unlock the door to open it. And there's a dead bunny on the porch. I had to like go find paper towels or something to pick up this dead bunny and put it in the trash.
Oh,
And I was just like, I don't have time for you, dead bunny. Like, who knew I would be so quick to pick up dead things, but in the name of work, I guess. I don't know.
name of real estate.
I just remember thinking, no one told me this was part of the job. Like, nobody told me that. Oh, and banging in, man, it's dry here in Colorado. And some of those open house signs, they have little metal things. So you got to find a place to stick those metal things into the dirt. And guess what? In the summertime, like, I've got my foot on it and I'm pressing down, and the metal is just bending. Like the dirt is so dry and so just,
Things you wouldn't have even thought of.
nope. Mm-mm.
Wow. Yeah.
No, it's a lot of work to put on an open house. So next time you drive by a sign and you go, oh, let's stop at that open house, you just remember, like, that person holding that house open went to a lot of trouble.
At least you have water and cookies, right?
Hopefully, at least you can get snacks. This is the upside of the open house, is the snack factor.
Positive things.
Oh, also, I learned never schedule an open house during a Broncos game. I did that one time on accident, and as soon as the Broncos game ended, like, there was nobody. It was and I had food, I had all kinds of stuff, that I had out for the open house. And then it's just me twiddling my thumbs for like an hour and a half. And then the game was over, and then like 5 or 6 people walked in, like, as soon as the game were. I think they were neighbors though, but
They were just waiting for it to end.
what should we do now that the game's over? Let's go check out that open house. I mean, or you said you've never done that. That is something that I have done as like something fun on a weekend. Like, just go look at houses. Like, you're just driving around neighborhoods, you see an open, you're not even shopping. You're not even a buyer.
I've thought about it, but I haven't done it.
You can.
I should. I should do that. I should do that.
So those are my most fun open house stories. Tabitha, thanks so much for being here today, talking about all things open house.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, see you guys next time. If you like this content and want to support the channel, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go.